Dutch Sense here. 1:59 a.m. Central Time on Sunday, March 4th, 2012. And just a few hours ago, about an hour and a half ago, I put out this video on Arkansas plumes erupting again. Now, if you don't know what's going on, I'll put the links down below. You can go watch the 2 previous videos I've done on these plumes that have recently erupted out of dormant volcanic areas in southern and central Arkansas. Now, this happened over multiple days in multiple spots, but I see them coming only from dormant volcano sites, came from Hot Springs, Arkansas, Sulphur Springs, Arkansas, and near Murfreesboro, Arkansas, at Crater of the Diamonds State Park, which is a dormant volcano, and it's part of a dormant volcano chain that extends through the New Madrid seismic zone along the edge of the North American Craton. The edge of the North American Craton extends right down through here, through South Missouri into Arkansas, and curls back up and goes up towards Canada, and to the west it curls back up and goes up here towards Idaho and the Pacific Northwest. But the edge goes right through here, okay? And so I issued this video and I found the dormant volcanoes there. Now I don't know how I missed this. Okay, I was looking at Sulphur Springs and this area here. Well, the area right to the west is a giant fracking area, okay? And the way you can tell is you can zoom in and they have these pads that are laid out, and they have literally an injection station where they inject or extract natural gas from the edge of the craton. And there's so many of these. Each one is a pad with a little thing. Now this is a 2009 image, so it's not the best image, so we can't really see what's at each spot, but each spot is cleared out, each spot is a pad, each spot has a little dark object here. Now they don't have the lakes nearby that you would normally associate with fracking, so I don't know exactly what kind of injection well this might be, or extraction well, but it's for sure pads laid out here all around with the same kind of thing going on. So let me see if I can find a more updated image. Let's back it out here. Okay, and let's go, that's to the north. Let's see what year this is. Same time frame, 2009, and just not that great of a picture. But you can definitely, it's got the telltale signs. It's along the edge of the craton. It matches up where over in Oklahoma and further over in Arkansas, you already have other areas that are known fracking sites with fracking wells. So put that all together. We have to start putting this stuff together ourselves. So you see plumes come out from where a fracking area is and a dormant volcano chain is. Okay, that to me alone is something that we need to watch. Secondly, okay, when you go watch this video that I put out and you see the different plumes that erupt, it's not, to me, it doesn't look like a wildfire at all. It only happens in the evening. It happens just like a geologic event would, as I showed in this video. You can go see. I bring up the Yellowstone charts and show you guys what a Yellowstone daily event happens over a course of several hours in the afternoon. The North American Craton goes through this movement every day in the afternoon. Pacific Northwest, Yellowstone, and now, apparently, the Midwest. I'm not thinking that these are going to come active. I don't think they're going to erupt. I do think it's a sign of a coming seismic event. Alright, so let me just back this out. Here's the frack wells with all the other earthquakes occurring just north of Little Rock. So it's not too, I mean, it's a few hundred miles, but on latitude speaking, it's roughly in the same region. It's along the edge of the craton where the shale formations are easy to fracture, and that, of course, to me means that we're seeing deep earth penetration sites that are showing activity, whether it be fracking or dormant volcano. And again, I'll put links down below for that, so you can go see all my prior videos on frack well sites and dormant volcanoes to see this connection. So when you get over to Earthquake 3D and you see the earthquake activity and it pairs up with the fracking activity, and I'm not joking, you go pull these coordinates on the Oklahoma quakes here, for instance, or the Texas quakes, it will take you down to a frack well site. I mean, let's just go look. Here's a 3.0 in Oklahoma. And I don't want to waste your time because we're not really talking about Oklahoma here, but I just want to show you that the frack well sites correspond to the earthquake sites, and now we have plumes occurring near frack well sites. That to me is just a sign, okay? Here, 1 second. I don't think I cut and pasted that correctly. Here we go, copy. paste. Okay, now it's going to take us over to Oklahoma. And these are all past video sites that I've done. Wow, they had another 3.0 at the exact same, well, not the exact same spot. It's over by a few feet. And look, that was on February 29th. Okay. And here we go. Here's a 2. Let's go look at the 2.8 in Texas. So they've changed that epicenter just by a couple feet. All right, and here we go over into Texas. And let's zoom it in. And what do we have here? We have the same kind of site, only a higher resolution image, so you can see that little dot that the storage tank is. And they don't have frac ponds here either. Look at that. Okay, so it takes you into the same kind of site. That's great. I'm glad we decided to go look at this. Here's another one. Square pad cleared out. And in case there's any question, you can go up here. Look at all these. I mean, you know, you say, oh, that's just one of them. Okay, well, look at how many there are here. Okay. And these are, just so you know, again, you zoom in, you've got your storage tank, you've got your cleared out pad. And look at how big that is. Of course, now we can associate that with Texas, and you know Texas is loaded, but now just look at where that occurred, and look at where the plume events are occurring, okay? And you just start to get an idea of what's going on down here, is that here's Texas, here's the frac well sites in Oklahoma, and you just come right along the edge of the craton here, and it seems like they're doing it north of the craton that's fracking, north of the edge of the craton. They're probably coming into it from the side, and you get right down in here. Okay? Wish I had better news for you guys, I really do, but anywhere along this edge here now, I'd say watch for an earthquake, watch for a sizable earthquake in the near term. It's a heck of a prediction to make, I'd say within a month or less, just like over in California at all the plume sites in California. Okay? And if you don't know what I'm talking about here in California, there were a series of earthquakes and plumes that occurred near the Pisgah volcano region. Now, people tried to tell me these were wildfires going on out here. Then they tried to say it was thunderstorms going on. These thunderstorms going on out here in an official press release in response to my video. And I couldn't believe it, because they contradicted all the other critics saying it was a military range. So, where do I go with that? I saw plumes go all the way up the coast. Not just me, multiple people recorded it at multiple sites. Black Hills volcanoes, all the way up here, and each one of these sites was showing a plume of some kind. Not each one, but multiple sites going all the way up the coast, all the way up into Idaho, and all the way east into Nevada. So it wasn't a military base, unless there's a military base at every volcano. And when you get over here, you know, the chances of it being a wildfire tend to reduce when you zoom in and you see that the epicenter is a dormant volcano. And they even are further reduced when you find that the nearest town name is Sulphur Springs or Hot Springs, because that means geologic activity and some kind of steam event could totally happen. And then you zoom in even further and you find out that an area like this, and this is one of the areas in my previous video, go look it up, where one of the plumes just erupted today, right from here. And if there's any question for you as to whether or not this is a dormant volcanic site from a very long time ago, let me bring it in from the side and you can take a look at the surrounding area. Okay, you can see this to the north and to the south. These are definitely old formations from a very long time ago. We're talking extinct volcano, probably not even dormant. Using the word dormant isn't correct on this. We're talking extinct volcano activity. Very interesting to see. And I just wanted to do this follow-up so you guys get the full deal on what I think is going on. Okay? Cheers.